Margarito was denied his license in California, where he was found to have plaster in his hand wraps in that fight against Shane Mosley last year, but approved in Texas. Dan, were you surprised at all by that news?
You know, I really wasn't surprised by the news because he had done his year plus, which is the time period for him before he could reapply when it was revoked in California. The people around the various commissions and the ABC, the Association of Boxing Commissions, asked him to please go back to California before he asked for a license anywhere else. He lived up to what they asked for. And there are no rules that prevent any other state in this country from issuing him a license once he had gone back to see California. So the combination of him having served a year and a half where he didn't fight, following exactly what the ABC had asked him to do, going in front of the California Commission, spending 6 hours answering all their questions, and whether you believe them or not, what he answered, the reality was there was nothing that prevented Texas from issuing him a license. And so I wasn't surprised at all whatsoever.
So it now paves the way for that November 13th fight against Pacquiao at Cowboys Stadium. Was he approved in Texas because of the venue and because Pacquiao needed a marquee opponent?
Well, I think you could look at it as that's part of it, but you know, having dealt with the people that do issuing of licenses in the state of Texas over the course of my career, you know, they have their basic rules, which are as long as they meet a certain medical criteria, as long as the application is filled out appropriately, and they pay their $20. There's really nothing to prevent them. Now, if they had denied him the license, Margarito could have asked for a hearing, and then they would have had that. But there was nothing in their rules that said he had to have a hearing where he had to go answer a bunch of questions beforehand. The people that licensed him in Texas, in issuing the license and making statement to the media and outlining the reasons why, said that among the various things that they reviewed when they issued the license was they went back, they of course made sure that the application was filled out appropriately, that they got their $20, and on top of that they had reviewed the original transcripts from the hearing when his license was revoked in California. They paid close attention to the hearing that took place on August 18th in California when he went before that commission to ask for his license back, and they went over all of that different stuff, and they made the determination, whether anybody agrees with it or doesn't, that he was fit to be issued a license in Texas, and he got one, and the fight is on.
Dan, with the red tape now out of the way, I want to ask you how this fight shapes up. What problems does Margarito pose to Pacquiao, who has really disposed of all comers rather handily?
Well, he does pose some problems from the standpoint of he is taller, he is a naturally larger person. He has fought the bulk of his career as a welterweight. Margarito has. Pacquiao has been fighting in welterweight division for the last, couple of fights, but they are going to move up in weight class, fight in the junior middleweight division, which is a weight class that neither one of them has had a lot of success in. But Margarito, being the naturally bigger guy, you figure physically will have that advantage. They're going to be fighting for one of the vacant belts. But also, Pacquiao brings so much speed, so much intensity. He's been more active than Margarito. Margarito had that long layoff because of the revocation of his license in Texas, and also in the fight against Shane Mosley that ended up causing him to have the license revoked, he got a beatdown from Shane Mosley. So he had a very physically taxing fight where he just got smashed to bits by Mosley, had the 16-month layoff, did come back in May, looked very bad actually when he fought a fighter named Roberto Garcia in his native Mexico, and now we don't know exactly what he has left, but he does bring power, he does bring physicality to the fight.